What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. Welcome back to another Criterion shopping vlog style video. We are back at another Barnes & Noble. This is the first time we've visited this Barnes & Noble this entire month. This is a really good store. I have found some great things here in the past, but I haven't had a chance to get over to this part of town.
I've never been to the store. I've been here, but I've never Criterion shopped
You've
here.
never been? Yeah, you've never been in a video at the store.
Because you always do it with John or Van or Cap, so it's always been someone else when you come to the store for some reason.
Yeah, it's pretty far away. It's like 45 minutes away, so we don't get over here that often, but they usually have a pretty good selection. I think it might be the best selection of any of the stores that still sell Criterions around us. All the sections have been shrinking the last couple of years. This one's still pretty good though, so we're gonna head in. Hopefully they have some good stuff. You're still looking for a couple things to check off your list this month.
3 women.
3 women you still want to grab?
And I want Miller's Crossing.
I am looking for several things kind of all over the place. I would love to find the Pasolini box set, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've still got a couple more things that I'm looking for, and hopefully we can find some of that stuff in this store. But let's head in, we'll shop around a little bit, and we'll share with you what we picked up afterwards.
Wish us luck.
Let's go. Okay, so here it is. Oh man, it's picked pretty clean.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's a lot of empty spaces.
That's crazy. I've never. Oh, look at that though. Look.
Oh, you found your first one?
Miller's Crossing.
It's on the list.
We found it.
I've never seen Last Metro in stores before. That's an early spy number. Wonder if someone ordered this and like left
That gives
it.
me all that jazz vibes. Just the cover. I know nothing about it, but.
I don't know much about it either, but.
Catherine Deneuve.
Oh wow, Catherine Deneuve.
Wait, and Gerard Depardieu. We gotta look this up.
Who directed it? Filmed by Francois. Oh, it's Truffaut.
Oh.
So they got some new stuff. They got some interesting
Yeah, they
stuff.
have like stuff I haven't seen at the other stores.
Cul-de-sac. I've never seen this one either. Everlasting Moments. Spy number 520.
Ooh, that's kind of like ethereal looking. I like it.
Swedish Master. Oh, look at this.
What is that?
This is really cool. This is a Pabst film. This is GW Pabst. They just announced a Pabst film this month. Pandora's Box.
Oh,
Pandora's Box from
okay.
1929. This is, oh wow. I might have to grab this actually. And you didn't watch Pandora's Box with me, but you should.
No.
It's lovely.
I did not. I don't know what this is, but this cover is super cool.
Yes, you do.
Like-
That's Black Moon. Black Moon's great.
Look, there's a unicorn and like
There's a unicorn
like
in
an eagle, and I don't know. This art is just crazy cool to me.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll like the movie.
Wait, is that the one that's about the?
It's like a trippy Alice in Wonderland.
Okay, yeah, you've told me about that.
I can't even explain it. It's Louis Malle though. It's the same director who did Zazie Don's Le Metro.
That's the one you were talking about when we went to see like the ponies in Virginia, right? And you were like, I want to watch this movie.
Yeah, it reminded me of that because it's a lot of outdoor scenes and like misty, like ethereal looking mountains and stuff.
Like vaguely remember you watching that. I just don't think I knew it was in the collection. I thought it was just like on the channel.
Oh, okay. Here's another Douglas Sirk. I think that's Rock Hudson. Is it Rock Hudson?
You know I love me some Rock Hudson.
Okay.
It is.
Settle down there.
It is Rock Hudson. Who's the girl?
I feel like you could
That
do
seems very much me.
a search on Criterion's website of inextricably linked, and that ends up in like so many of the synopses. The Man Who Knew Too Much is great. So we just watched 39 Steps last night.
Yes.
And we loved it. And
It was so good.
there's like 4 Hitchcocks in that box set from Criterion, that out of print box set that we have. This is one of them, which you haven't seen.
That's not the version I've seen.
You've seen the remake.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen the first one, and I like that. I actually like this one better.
So does this one have kind of the humor of the 39 Steps?
Yes.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay.
There's even a funny scene with singing hymns in a church, kind of like 39 Steps with the hymnal
Okay,
scene.
yeah.
We also saw Lady on the Train. So we've seen 3 of the 4. I've seen
Or
3
Lady
of the 4.
Vanishes.
The Lady Vanishes, yeah. So
She is a lady on a train,
so
to be
there's
fair.
3 of them, but then we have to watch Foreign Correspondent is the 4th one.
Okay.
These
Yeah,
are, like,
that's in the set, though.
Of the early Hitchcock. I think these are still British. I think, yeah.
Yeah, those are his British
Early
era.
British stuff. So you got to watch this one, and then we got to watch Foreign Correspondent. But I think so far my favorite of those is 39 Steps.
Yeah, it was so good. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did.
Surprisingly fun. One of our all-time favorites.
Gosh, I love that movie. Again, Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant, both my boys.
We should watch that again.
They can basically do no wrong to
It
me.
kind of takes place in summer. There's like a pool
Yeah,
scene.
you're
where
right.
she
It is. It's definitely a warmer season.
If you love George Cukor or any of the big 3,
The big 3.
Cary
That
Grant,
is truly who
Katharine
they are.
Hepburn, Jimmy Stewart, and you want like a quick, fast talking.
Yeah, it's kind of like His Girl Friday-ish.
But
like,
it's not. It is got a lot of comedy in it, but I would say it's more serious.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's just a great movie.
It's got it all. It's one of our favorites. Highly recommend.
Speaking of one of our favorites. Oh.
I found it.
You found it.
I found Rumblefish.
been
Finally.
looking
I've been
for
looking
that the
at
whole
every
sale.
store. Finally got it.
That's
So
exciting.
that's a definite pickup. Summertime. It's a great summer. We didn't love this movie, but I mean,
I
if you
love
want to just
her,
look
though.
at some beautiful summertime cinematography in, what is it, Venice?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely beautiful. David Lean. We need to watch more David Lean. Oh, and right behind it, look, Swing Time, which we just watched,
I adored that movie.
which is wonderful. Fred Astaire killing it, and
Ginger Rogers.
Ginger Rogers
Yeah.
also killing it. They're doing great stuff together. They did a lot of stuff together. Women on the Verge.
I haven't seen his stuff in stores in a while.
Another one of our
One of our
absolute
favorite directors.
favorites. If you want some bright, vibrant, colorful comedies from the 80s, his
This
stuff
one
is
and Tie Me
great.
Up, Tie Me Down.
I love Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down.
Me too.
But I think I like that one better. You prefer Tie Me Up, Tie Me
I
Down?
did, yeah, I think so. But I really love this one
Women
as
on
well.
the Verge is my favorite.
And I love the
But All About My Mother.
All About My Mother, which is a very different vibe, but
More serious, but
great.
so good. There's Zazie. That's what I was talking about with Louis Malle, director of Black Moon. This is more family appropriate than Black Moon. Although Black Moon's okay.
Yeah, our kids love that one.
Our kids love that one. Or some scenes. I don't show them the whole movie, but specifically the chase scene, like the Looney Tune-esque chase scene.
Yeah.
They love.
Jude always laughs his head off at it.
Hysterically at that. Chris Nolan? Early Chris Nolan? You want to get that? I'm not a big Chris Nolan fan.
Nor am
La
I.
Piscine, though. This
Love that one.
This one's great. This is a wonderful summer movie. It doesn't get more summery vibes than that, except for like outside of Eric Romer or something. Don't look at anything. Go into this as blind as you can.
Do we have
because
this?
I think the reason I love this as much as I do is because I knew nothing about it.
Yeah,
going in.
don't even look up images, like nothing. It'll
Yeah,
ruin
the poster is a spoiler, so try not to look at the poster.
it. Do we have this? Because we just watched Days of Heaven.
We do not have this, but we just watched Days of Heaven over the weekend.
So good. Beautiful.
So good.
One of
And
the most beautiful films
I think
I've
I'm
ever seen.
all in on Malick now. I think he sold me because I loved The New World
See, Days of Heaven was my first Malick
and I
film.
love Days of Heaven. So I think we got to go ahead and get this and just trust him.
He's ruined me for cinematography forever with that one film.
This is 1998, so he made Days of Heaven, and then he didn't make this till like 20 years later.
Oh, whoa.
He waited like 20 years, didn't make a movie.
I've heard
he
of
came
this
back
movie,
into this.
but-
It's longer. Like this is where he starts getting long.
Well, yeah, because Days of Heaven was only like
New
89
World-
minutes
yeah,
or something.
those are short, and Badlands is short. But then
Okay.
like New World is like
3 hours,
3
yeah.
hours. This is 171 minutes, so almost 3 hours. So,
Okay.
but I could look at that cinematography for 4 hours.
It was
5
so
hours.
beautiful. Oh my gosh, like the wheat fields, like waves. I was like in just rapture, just like sitting there
You
staring
might just
at
have
it.
to grab this.
Yeah, I think that
blind
might
buy
have
it.
to be a.
1998.
It's a must. Criterion,
Oh,
what are
this-
you
oh,
doing?
oh, look at this.
What? What is that?
True Stories. This is the one I was wanting. This is John Goodman,
Oh, shut up.
and it looks bananas. Criterion just did a post about it. I didn't know it had a big, nice digipack. This
Yeah,
is
it
awesome.
actually is really nice. I've never heard of that.
This
though.
is one that was on my list. I forgot about it, but Criterion did a post about it, and it looks super interesting and weird and colorful and bright. I think it's a comedy too.
Well, you know, I love me some Criterion comedies.
89-minute comedy. We can fit that one in there.
What is that?
That's Ingmar Bergman, so we don't need it because we have the
Oh,
box
we
set.
have the box
but
set.
that's one of his summer
I've
movies.
never seen that as a solo release.
You bought me the box set, so I can't get those. But
You can.
oh man, this is crazy. So this is Pale Flower. Mm-hmm. This is Shinoda, who is doing Demon Pond, which is
Oh, the
just
one that just-
announced.
yeah.
We keep finding other films by same directors. I might have to get this too, because that's coming out in October, and I'm very excited about Demon Pond.
Is that one like creepy vibes too?
I think this is very different. I think this is like a crime thing. Yeah, it's a
crime thing.
Japanese new wave with a Yakuza fresh out of prison.
Ooh, the Yakuza.
So, but I like to see some of his stuff before Demon Pond comes out.
Cool.
So we can add that to the list.
This is a problem. Look at this. This is our stack so far, guys. For a section that we didn't think was very stacked, we sure found a lot.
We've been talking about some of our favorite summer movies. We should mention Dice Mamá También.
Yes, I just added that to my Letterboxd top 4.
So good.
Theme of summer movies.
Definitely one of my favorite summer movies. We've only seen it once. We need to rewatch it. We should watch it this year if we can find the time. So good. You remember the first time we watched it?
Mm-hmm. Of course I do. One of my favorite nights with you ever.
There's a bunch of stuff over here. I don't know why all this is over here.
My gosh, look at all the perfect days.
There's so many perfect days.
My lord. Did that come out today or something?
I think it came out Tuesday.
Okay. Maybe they're just late putting them out.
Should we grab one? We missed it last year.
Maybe.
My favorite Pasolini movie, Teorema. They don't have the box set, but they do have Teorema. You should watch that with me. You would probably hate it, but I love it. So good. This is another one, Cat People. Mm-hmm. Produced by Val Lewton.
Okay.
Look at this. This is crazy. Another one that's coming out in October.
Oh, that's right.
2 of his films are coming out in October.
Y'all just talked about this.
We should probably get that and watch that in October.
This one, I'm like intrigued by it, but I'm confused by it.
You're confused
So
by
it's
it.
supposed to be, like, they don't name them, but it's supposed to be like Albert Einstein, Marilyn Monroe, Joe DiMaggio, and Joseph McCarthy. And it's like a reimagining of their life if they were to have like met each other and interacted with each other.
Oh, wow.
Which seems really cool. And I love Marilyn Monroe.
Nicholas Roeg.
I love the cover.
You know what we should watch? We
What?
should watch The Man Who Fell to Earth, which is Nicholas Roeg, which we do have. And if you like that, then maybe we can check out some of his other stuff. Hidden Fortress is here. This was on my list. There's too much here. I'm not going to be able to pick up everything. It's Kurosawa. The only Kurosawa I've seen, actually.
What is this Janus Films and why didn't I know about it? Part crime thriller, part romantic comedy. Hello.
I heard about that when it came out from Janus, but I haven't seen it, and I don't know.
Is it part of the
if it's
sale?
great. Yeah, it's still part of the sale.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm interested in
Don't
that.
start collecting Janus contemporaries, too.
But actually, we already got wait, EO is in the collection.
We did
no, it is a Janus contemporary.
We did get EO, so I guess we already have one. Speaking of things we love, The Big Chill. We need to rewatch that. That was a
Special
great one.
place in my heart for that movie.
Well, yeah, because your parents had the soundtrack growing up, so you were super familiar with the soundtrack.
We would go on the boat and like go tubing, and my dad would like blast the soundtrack while we were like tubing on the boat. So I know like all the songs from that movie.
But
like,
you had never
back of
seen
my
it.
hand. No, and I'd never seen it until
we bought the Criterion
last year, 2 years ago. So good though.
It's a wonderful hangout movie. Have you seen The Lure?
No, you watch. I was watching it kind of. I was in the room when you watched it.
It's a musical. It's like a modern
So
2015 like punk rock musical with killer mermaids.
sorry, I stopped listening. Taylor Swift came on.
Oh. I always think that's Robin Williams.
It does kind of look like Robin Williams making a funny face.
Every time I see that one. I missed this whole section. Oh. This sounds really interesting. Have you ever seen or read about The Night Porter? It's supposed to be really hard to watch.
And I'm not going to do it then.
And unsettling. No, you might find it interesting. Oh, you know what you would like? Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. Have you read that? Read the back of that. It's Italian. We could get that one.
Investigating a heinous crime, which he himself committed?
Yeah, so he's the investigator and he committed
He's
the
like
crime.
pretending to solve it?
Trying to cover up his tracks and like.
Shut up, this looks so cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a Grace movie.
It's like the Golden State Killer. Why would you show me this?
Because I thought you'd like it.
But there's too much here.
All right, guys, we are back at home and we had a crazy successful run. We got way too much. This is the biggest haul we've got the whole month. So far, we've been limiting ourselves to just a few each haul, but there was so much at this store and I don't think we're gonna make it back to this store this month. So we just had to grab it. So let's go ahead and show them everything we got. I'll go first. My first one here is Terrence Malick movie. We just watched Days of Heaven a couple days ago and loved it. I also had another like spiritual experience with the New World last year. So I'm all in on Terry. And he has this one, Thin Red Line, in the collection. And I don't see this one very often. I used to see it a lot, but recently I haven't seen it. And found it at this store and went ahead and grabbed it. This is kind of a transition where he starts getting into his more like epic, long movies. So this is 177 minutes. It's almost 3 hours.
I mean, that's fine with me. If it's 177 minutes of like beauty, like
I could
watch it all.
New World was like 3 hours, and I loved every single frame of it because it looks gorgeous. So I'm excited to check this one out. This one seems very heavy, but it seems to be playing with similar themes to The Days of Heaven, where it's like the grand like macrocosm of the universe and how small we are in it and how insignificant we seem to be. And this is like a war movie. I'm not a huge war movie guy, but
I like war movies,
if it, there's some that I really, really like. And I think this could be one of them. It's going to be beautiful.
Could be a 1917.
1998. 20 years he took to make this movie. Well, he didn't take 20 years, but he took off for 20 years.
Away for 20 years.
And finally came back and wanted to tell this story. So I'm excited to check it out. Hopefully we can watch that one soon.
Sweet.
What is your first one?
I did it, guys. I have completed the collection of Coen Brothers movies within the Criterion collection. So we already had Inside Llewyn Davis, and we just got Blood Simple, and we found Miller's Crossing. So that's my first pickup. I'm excited about it. I don't know too much about it, except that it's like in the 20s and kind of like a gangster noirish film, but with, of course, the Coen Brothers spin that they always do.
We've been wanting to pick that one up for a while, so finally added it to the collection.
I'm excited about it.
My next one is, I'm actually very excited about these next two because I hadn't even heard of these directors until this month, because we just got the October announcements from Criterion, and one of them is a film by G.W. Pabst, which is actually Pandora's Box, which I already own from Eureka. This is another film by Pabst, and it is called Comradeship, is the American title. I'm not going to try to attempt to say it in German. It's from 1931, same director, and I believe it's another war film. I think it takes place during World War I, where there is a coal mine that collapses right on the line between Germany and France, and both sides have to come together and like work together and get through this tragedy. It looks beautiful. I watched the trailer just to see some of the cinematography. It's awesome. I love this era of filmmaking. I think it's right after silent films. I think this is a sound film, but it's still that same kind of visual style. It looks awesome. I loved Pandora's Box. Incredible movie. I need to show that one to you. I think you'll love that one as well. So I wanted to check out another Pabst film. My
next one is actually from a director that we watched for the first time last year when DJ was doing some prep for the Top Autumn Movies video that he did. And it immediately became one of my all-time favorites, and that was All That Heaven Allows. But this is from Douglas Sirk, who is the same director, and it actually stars the same actors as All That Heaven Allows, which is Rock Hudson and Jaden Wyman. And it is Magnificent Obsession.
She looks so different.
I know. And it's so funny to me because if you've seen
younger in this
All
one?
That Heaven Allows, they like make fun of their age difference. Like it's a huge thing that they have like such a big age difference, and now they're starring together or opposite again.
1 year earlier. This is 54. All That Heaven was 55.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see that one because I absolutely adored this one. Like immediate 5 stars.
That one's amazing.
Yeah, and so
I'm hoping we like this one.
I don't want to give. I don't know if anyone knows about this one, but I don't want to give away too much. The back kind of gave away a lot to me.
Oh, don't read it. I was starting to read it. I'm not going to read
Rock Hudson. I'm going to give a very broad synopsis. Is Rock Hudson is like trying to make up for a mistake that he made, and he ends up getting very close to Jane Wyman, and I think like a romance ensues. But there's like a lot of trauma and drama behind it.
Well, it's another melodrama.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's kind of all Douglas Sirk made was melodrama. So that's cool.
But I love them together. They were great, had great chemistry, and so I'm excited to see them in another
very bright and colorful. Technicolor?
Yeah, Technicolor, which I love Technicolor, so I'm super excited.
All That Heaven Allows was beautiful, so I can't wait to check that one out with you.
Me too. I'm excited.
I have to put that on the date night list for the next couple months. And then my next one, I already alluded to this, but it's also from a director who is getting a release in the collection coming up in October, and another director that I wasn't familiar with until I did some research this month. It is Pale Flower from Shinoda. Shinoda's getting a release of Demon Pond, which is a 70s movie, a little bit after this. It's coming out later in October, and that seems like a very different thing. This is a romance.
Okay.
You might be into this one. The cinematography looks really, really cool on this too. It is kind of a black and white, it's 60s, but it's still in black and white. It feels very noirish, like a noirish romance. It is about a former Yakuza member who gets out of prison, and then he just gets like enamored with this gambling addict. She's like really into gambling, and they just form this romance, and I think it's all very toxic, and
probably,
I'm sure they get into a lot of trouble. But yeah, it just looks really cool. It's a Japanese new wave film, which I don't think I've ever seen. Okay. So I'm happy to explore this one. This is Shinoda, like I said, a director that I am not familiar with, but some people did bring this up in the comments of the video. We were talking about the upcoming October releases, and they said this is a great one too, so we should check this one out. And I've never seen this in store before, so I was very excited when I saw this in store. I was like, wow, we were just talking about this. And it might be one of those things where I've seen it before, but I didn't, like when you get a new car and then you see that car everywhere. It was probably there, but I just had no idea what this was until recently. So excited to check out both of those, and then hopefully in October, we can pick up their other films after they come out.
My next one is a Jimmy Stewart film, and
awesome.
I absolutely adore him. He's my favorite actor of all time, probably. He's just fantastic. We recently watched him in Harvey, and so we got on a kick where we were like, we need to watch his whole filmography. So with that spirit in mind,
especially the Criterion ones.
Yeah. Flight of the Phoenix. And I know you and John talked about this a
right
little
on the
bit.
front. He's right there.
Yeah,
he's old.
He's old, Jimmy Stewart.
Ooh,
he's so cute.
Well, he's old in Harvey too.
Yeah.
And Anatomy of a
Murder.
We gotta watch that one.
Haven't watched that one yet. We own it. We just haven't watched it.
We do a double feature. We can't do a double feature because that one's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And so this one's pretty long too. It looks so cool.
I'm excited about it. And it has Richard Attenborough, who is like the Jurassic Park guy, and he's always Miracle of 34th Street, Santa Claus. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see them in a movie together. But I think basically it's like a Society of the Snow almost, but like in the Sahara Desert. So
is it like an adventure film or disaster film?
It's a disaster film. Their plane crashes in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and they're like trying to reformulate the plane back together so that they can fly it and get out of there before they all melt and starve to death. I don't know. But yeah, so.
Sounds like a hoot.
Hey, we love Society of the Snow.
Society of the Snow is an amazing film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Flight of the Phoenix, another Jimmy.
And it might be I feel like it's going to be a different acting than we normally see from him. Because, you know, we normally watch him in like romances, and I feel like this is much more of a dramatic role than
that's true.
what we normally see. That's true. I'm excited about that.
Okay, so I've been doing some very, very dark stuff so far. These seem very heavy. But complete left turn with this next one. This is True Stories, which I have never seen, and I hadn't really, it wasn't really on my radar until very recently. I think right before the sale, Criterion put a post on Instagram, like highlighting this movie.
Oh, okay.
It was like John Goodman's birthday or something, and they were like, check out True Stories in the collection. John Goodman is in this, and he is like, I don't know if he's the main character or not. He's very prominently featured in the trailer, but even after watching the trailer, I have
no idea what
I
it's
still
about.
don't know what this is. It's like a weird, like pseudo mockumentary, documentary style.
It gave me Bernie vibes a little bit.
It's a little Bernie, but it was like this weird like future where everyone is. I think it's satire. Like I think it's. I don't even know. I'm just gonna watch it. I don't want to know anything else. I know enough to be intrigued, and I've heard from some people that it's great. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. It's 1986. The visuals look really interesting, very colorful. Like I said, though, it is kind of shot like a documentary. There's a lot of like breaking the fourth wall, talking. I think the director himself or whoever's like playing like the director, like talking directly to the camera. So it seems goofy, seems weird. It seems like a lot of fun. Very different from my first three picks. So I'm glad I threw that one in there. Spice it up a little bit, shake things up.
So my last one is actually one that we talked about in the first haul as well. And based on a lot of y'all's comments, I decided to go back and pick this one up. And it is Dogfight with River Phoenix. I've never seen him in anything, and I know he had a very short career, but this is apparently one of the most beloved performances of his. I don't know if I want to give away the premise. I know a lot of you probably know the premise.
It's a romance.
Maybe just cover your ears for 10 seconds if you don't want to know the premise. But basically, they have like a competition to see who can bring like the ugliest date, and so he brings her, but I think they probably end up falling in love if I have to guess.
Yeah.
Just from knowing movies and their
just
formulas.
From the
that's
cover art.
and, you know, all the pictures on the back and whatnot. But I love a good romance drama. And as much as I've heard people talk about River Phoenix, I'm just excited to see him in something as well. So I'm excited to pick that one up.
Yeah, that one just came out a couple months ago, and people have been raving about it. So
yeah, I'm excited.
I thought of you when I saw that one come out. And then this last one I've been wanting all month, and I've checked every store and I've never found it. This was on my short list this month to finally get, and it is Rumblefish. This one's actually been on my list for a long time. I think it was on my original list that I had, the very first Criterion sale because I used to be a part of like a Criterion group, and I asked for dreamlike films because that was always really interesting to me. And I had watched a few on the Criterion channel in their Dark Fairy Tales collection, and I asked for, hey, is there any similar movies to these? And people in the group were really cool, and they gave me a lot of recommendations. And I've got most of the recommendations from that group, except for this one. This is one that has eluded me. This is a Francis Ford Coppola film from 1983, but it's shot completely in black and white, kind of similar to Wings of Desire, which is also shot that way, not because they had to, because they wanted to, for like a very stylistic look. And
yeah, it looked cool.
It looks so good. Like there's so many scenes of just like smoke, and like it looks super cool. It stars a very young Matt Dillon and Nicolas Cage, who we've just been watching recently because we just watched Little Darlings, which has a super young Matt Dillon, even younger than this, like a teenager. And then we also watched
Red Rock West?
Red Rock West with a young Nicolas Cage. So this is when this is in the 80s, so I think they're like maybe in their early 20s when they made this.
Okay. That's
a teenage kind of like angsty film. It looks like it takes place in the 50s. There's like knife fights and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of like gangster drama, but it's shot in like a very dreamlike, timeless, haunting visual style, which sounds
like
awesome.
you.
Yeah, it sounds perfect for me. So it'll be really great to finally check that one off the list. It seems like something I'm really gonna like. I love when you tell like a very personal story, but you give it kind of these mythic dimensions and qualities, and that's what it seems like he's doing here. I hear this one goes both ways though. I hear like some people really love it and some people it did not work for them, but I think it's gonna work for me. I'm excited to check it out.
It seems like your thing.
Yeah, finally getting to Rumblefish. So that's my last one. I got 5 this time. I think it's the most I've got all month. So lots of new stuff in the collection for us to check out soon. Make sure you let us know your thoughts on all of our pickups. If you've seen any of these films, please let us know what you think of them down in the comments. We've had a great time talking to you guys this whole month about Criterion movies, and it's almost over, which is a shame, but we may do one more haul. I'm not sure. I don't know if I need to now because I found so much good stuff here. But we'll see, and if we do go back, we'll definitely make another video for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all of the wonderful feedback and engagement we've got with you guys this month. And thank you too for joining me, for going with me.
Oh, I've enjoyed it so much.
I think this is the most hauls we've done together ever.
Yeah, I think so.
We've gone 3 times?
3. Yeah.
So you got a bunch. And I think this is the most Criterions you've ever picked up in a sale.
I found so much though.
You've been going crazy. You're getting really into it.
I am. You've created a monster.
The addiction is contagious, and we're going to keep it going. Again, thank you guys, and until next time, keep collecting, and we'll be back with another one real soon.